$1,090,000 of water fund balance to redeem years 2024 through 2028. By doing this, the city can see significant savings on the interest costs alone. The recommendation of the staff is to approve the partial early recommendation. The financial impact would be based on the current interest rates. Net interest savings is estimated at $96,228. The fees associated with the redemption are estimated at less than $2,000 to do this. Questions?
Yeah. I probably should have asked him before, but, so why do we pick 1090 versus like 1.3 or 1.5 and get rid of 2 more years?
Well, we could have done 2 more years. I was just trying to figure out where the interest rate point we wanted to choose was, and how much fund balance we wanted to use. So we just settled on the 1.90.
So it's the 2.3 and above.
So it's 2.3 and above.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we looked at refinancing.
Refinancing costs way too much.
Refinancing costs a lot, and current coupon rates on refinancing is right around 2%.
Yeah,
So
the same thing we got.
That's why we went with trying to redoing most of those interest rates above 2%.
And the funds and the money used, department works good for the year, so we,
Yep, yeah.
looks good,
Yeah.
projects well.
The year has been good for the water fund. It's been a dry year. People have been using a lot of water. So the fund has a healthy balance right now.
Did that answer your question, Rex?
Well, I still, I'm sitting there on the fence, and if I'm sitting there looking at it, I don't know if I don't do another 200,000, just knock out the 205, but, because I just don't think, we've got pretty good rates on our interest at our banks right now, but that's because they've been very good to us. But that's not what the regular rates are at the bank right now.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, if we change it and we get a 0.2 or a 0.1 or something like that, 2% is not gonna seem too bad. And $2 million seems like still quite an excess for having a water fund.
It is quite access.
I mean, if you told me we had 1.8 or 2 million, I'm not sure that I'm gonna twitch or get nervous about it.
Mhm.
Now, do I wanna pay it all off and get down to $1 million or something? No, I don't wanna do that, but I'm just kind of on the fence about the extra 200 to 205, I guess.
Okay.
The new well and the piping and stuff to get in, that's all tip, isn't it?
That is all TIF. So we will have to use some of the balance that we have in the fund because you have to incur the debt and then you pay yourself, you reimburse yourself with the TIF funds. So some of the balance that's remaining will have to be used for that until it gets reimbursed by TIF.
Any other questions?
So if I said that we're gonna pay off 129, our cost of paying off is still $2,000, right?
It should be, yeah, similar.
But the savings will be better.
Savings of 90 will be under 10,
Right, you'll get a little more
But-
savings.
but I just don't know what my accounting people are gonna be mad at me, so that's why I'm asking the question.
Can it absorb the extra 205?
We can absorb the extra
For
200.
200, I'm not trying to push all the chips on the poker table to the middle and be down to $1 million or something, because we do have a well going and we do have, but we've got a lot of things over there with, a lot of money's in a lot of different funds, and at 2%, we've had that discussion. This gets back to a personal thing. You have a discussion with others in our office about whether you pay off a 3% mortgage or you pay off a 4% mortgage or you hold money in a checking account at 0%, and it's like, why would you not pay off a mortgage?
Yeah.
Would we go borrow this money at 2% just to put in the bank right now? The answer is, there's no way we would. So I just think that with the fiduciary thing is to suggest to do a resolution that's gonna say 1.29 million.
Mhm.
So it's gonna pay off years 23 through 48. And,
All you'd have to do is amend the resolution to include 2023,
Right.
because the overall dollar amount doesn't appear in the resolution.
right, that's what I'm thinking, so I don't think I got any issues, and it doesn't matter what was printed here, we can amend that to do that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're inclined to do so, your motion should just say adopting resolution number as amended to include the 2023 year. And then we can make that change and take care of it.
So it's a motion to 37 or 38?
38.
38.
38. Motion adopted resolution 2038, authorizing the partial early termination of water revenue improvement bond series 2012B, to amending the fact that we're gonna pay off years 23 through 28, at a total cost of $1.29 million.
Second to the motion.
Motion been made and second to adopting resolution number 20-38, authorizing the partial early redemption of the water revenue improvement and refunding bonds, series 2012B, amending to the 23 to 28 to the point of $1,290,000. Right?
Yep.
295.
Another five.
Forgot to write to five. Okay, do we have roll call on that, Bev?
Wick,
Yes.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Donlin,
Yes.
Knapp,
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Okay. Next on the council meeting is the discussion. Mike, do you have anything?
I'll pass.
Clark?
Yeah, I don't wanna bring up a bad subject, so just a subject. I would like to hopefully avoid, the whole retaining wall issue ever again. So should we put in our ordinance when we start amending that they be required? I'm not after another fee, I just think we need to keep an eye on that. And I think it was just a lot of different parts that, got missed or whatever, however it was, So I just don't wanna see it again.
Yeah, that issue will be addressed in the code changes.
Okay, good.
Plus it'll change in the permitting process
Okay,
also.
to where they're just required automatically.
Jason and I have had several discussions since this has all
Okay,
started. Most recently, even today, there are some specs that need to be followed. The SUDA specs that we are going to be required that they follow, which is quite specific. There is gonna be a permitting process for those already that have homes that are already built, like just say for instance, your place, Clark. You have an established home, been there for, you wanna do some re-landscaping. If you are going to put in a retaining wall, you need to go through a permitting process if it's over 4 feet in height. On a new home build, that retaining wall will be discussed, but it will be part of their new home build construction. So it's not gonna be an individual permit on a new home construction, however, it does need to be addressed in the landscaping of that new home.
okay,
Yes,
on that, how,
we'll take a harder look at it
okay,
from now on.
and I'm fine with it, once again, I just wanna avoid it.
We do too.
But in this case, the home was sold,
Correct.
so the new home build, the contractor probably didn't know what the future plans were or whatever, and that's fine.
Yeah, then a permitting, in this specific case that we're talking about, a permit should have been taken out.
Okay.
Or at least inquired about, even though
Okay.
at that time, we didn't have a permitting process
Right.
for retaining walls. But
Right.
yes, the home was done, the final inspection was done, the grading had already been done, and they put in a retaining wall after the fact.
Right.
Yeah, so if you do a wall of that size in the future will require a permit.
Correct.
Okay, so there will be a height,
Yeah,
requirement.
above.
I thought 4 foot was already ours.
4 and above.
Or is it 5 now?
It was 6.
Oh.
We always use 6.
Okay, well, I was just curious, because I know we're coming up on some ordinance, looking at our ordinances and stuff. And I've also had, recently, a few conversations with different people about semi-tractors being parked on city streets. Unhooked semi-tractors, now, is that something we want to look at?
It's already in our parking in a residential district, with a semi during the nighttime hours is already in our ordinance. There is no overnight parking of semi trucks, in a residential during the nighttime hours.
Okay.
During the daytime hours, they can.
For sure, okay.
So, but during nighttime hours, that's already in our ordinance.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Back to the
Does
retaining,
that answer your questions?
Yeah, I'm good on that.
back to the retaining wall, could that also be of more use in the covenants for the property? Because they
It
did.
was.
It already was.
Was it in the covenant?
It was in his covenant.
Yeah,
Okay,
it already was.
because they get a copy of that.
Right, but
They're supposed
most people don't even know they have it, or they don't look at
They
it.
don't read it.
So,
Yeah,
Okay,
it's probably even in most title opinions.
could, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Well, that the covenants
No,
exist.
the covenants are in the title thing, but you assume then the people actually read the
Right.
20 pages of covenants that get
Right.
attached to their title
Right.
opinion. And we know
They
by
don't.
rule, a lot of people don't,
No, no, I hate
until they come to city council meeting.
Okay.
Rex, you're next.
No, I don't wanna come up with any more finance
Everybody
items,
but Mike.
I'm probably already too close to the finance people right now, so I don't wanna bring up any more problems.
Well, you,
I'll wait until Jacob says how much money he's getting in from local option, and road use and stuff like that, and I'll cheer him on.
yeah, seriously, that's something we need to take a look at.
I know, but he's gonna do it. I mean,
Coming down the road.
We're getting close to
I
that
tell you what,
budget
that
time.
budget time ain't far
Oh,
away.
He's
and-
gonna have fun.
If his last report said that we're healthier than he thought we were
So that's-
being, right?
Or was that
That's
Trump
correct.
saying that?
Huh?
That wasn't
Trump
Trump, was it?
said that, or did Jacob?
Jacob, just keep those figures
Okay.
going.
I'm gonna pass.
Did you notice when we were congratulating all the city employees earlier, that City Hall wasn't included? I am kidding.
We have a very thankless job.
Yeah, see, Bev noted that.
She took that down when she started.
I think you need to include her next.
Kenny.
I'll pass this time, thank you.
Steve.
Nothing for me.
Huh?
No, are you sure?
Did scare you out?
No.
Okay, moving on. Let's move on to Jason.
Okay,
Report.
I'll run down a few projects here again. PD berm is done, looks nice. We'll do a final walkthrough of it. I was told once they can ensure that the grass will get established, so.
Is Kevin smiling? Oh, yeah, he's smiling.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, it doesn't look green right now.
Not yet.
It looks kind of yellow grass, but.
Yeah, so once the grass comes up, they'll remove those that matting. Okay.
Who's responsible to water, is the contractor, or are we?
That would be the man up there.
Or the woman that hasn't been doing everything.
Well, if it doesn't, that's why we wouldn't do a final kin until the grass is established. So if the grass doesn't take, I mean, they would have to reseed it then, just like we did
Yeah,
on
I'm
the Kia
just-
New Retro.
I'm just thinking as late as it is, I just planted some grass seed.
Oh, they could water it if they want to ensure that it grows.
Could the water department handle it? Do we have anything, the fire department will water down just once or twice to get the seed started? And then nobody has to fuss with it again and tear it up in spring.
Well, I mean, we could,
Keep an eye on
we could.
I think it's a good investment. We got water.
Yeah, our water fund's good.
Was good.
It's a little lower now.
Flush the main.
Somebody keeps spending money.
All right, so that's where that one's at. The industrial road grading, which was the same contractor, equipment is gone from the site, it's graded. What's left out there is seeding also.
Drove by it this morning, looks very, very good.
I wish that larger pile of dirt was
I
gone so
do
you
too.
could actually truly see what the whole thing
But we
was.
got some real nice looking lots out there that are laid out.
Well 14, that's about, what is the date, 6th, so we're about a week away from precast coming so they can start constructing the well house. That'll be about the last thing they do on that project for at least that crew. Okay, that'll be the last, that's L&L Builders. That'll be the last thing they do of their portion of the project until spring. Okay, so then, next one on site would be Sioux City Engineering to do the underground piping. So, and that is, that's supposed to be done this winter. They both have a completion somewhere in late May, early June of next year for both portions. And they did strike water, so it's in the right place and it's deep enough, so. I was informed this morning by Mary Reynolds. Back in July, the request came for a challenge grant for Vandermeer Bakery, that building, Cassis. That was not approved by the state.
There's what?
It was not approved.
Okay.
Wasn't one of the projects they were gonna help fund, so. I'll try again. I don't know. I don't know where it leaves that project.
I was gonna say, does it mean Cass will hold on?
Well, I don't know. I mean, our commitment,
Right, is a matter.
I don't have the whole, where all the funding sources. Ours was $37,500 of what was a possible $500,000 project. So, yeah, so that was that. If you haven't heard, the advertisement for the Willow Creek Bar and Grill went out, should have started hearing it today, at least. It was on some of our social media sites, I believe, sometime yesterday.
Radio
So-
had it on today.
Huh?
The radio had it on today.
Okay, yeah, so that'll, those proposals, if anybody wishes to submit that, are due to City Hall by Friday, November 20th. And then from there, our Community Services Committee will review those and interview if we need to, and hopefully get somebody in place by beginning of the year, because the contract would take effect January 1st at noon. So, Public Utilities Committee met last Monday, I believe, to discuss what we've talked about a couple of council meetings prior, was maybe modifying how we deal with our spring and fall cleanups. We discussed, and I had some data from other communities, how they treat them. We had some good discussion, and it felt through that committee that to not change anything at this time. A recommendation did come up, maybe we explore bringing back some of those other days that we've had, in particular the electronic drop-off. So we did a little, after that meeting, Angie Knight pulled some stuff together, and we looked at, towards the end of when we stopped the electronics thing, the individual or company we were using, it wasn't profitable for them anymore, so they wanted to charge us to have them come up. So we stopped that. So then we looked at what those prices, because that was, people had to pay a fee if they came to the back parking lot to drop stuff off, depending on what you brought. We compared what people were being charged to come to the parking lot and then what they would be charged now if they took it out to the landfill. And almost, in most cases, it was cheaper to take that stuff out to the landfill. So I don't know if you want to proceed with that. But that's what we found out on that. So, like, I mean, unless you want to keep continuing it, I mean, the thought is just to keep our cleanups the way they are for now.
Questions on
We gotta do a better job of explaining where the landfill is, that it's on a hard service road, that the people are nice there, that they will take the stuff, that you gotta call ahead to get the stuff for them to take it. But I think that whole process of taking it there has stopped because people aren't comfortable doing it. Because they're thinking it's only for contractors to haul stuff too. So we've got to somehow do a better education job, whether it be a newsletter, a flyer, an attachment to the bill, something in the newspaper, whatever.
Do a better job of communicating.
Yeah, we do have, I think this sheet was provided at that meeting, maybe it wasn't, I think it was. 396 people took part in the spring cleanup of last year. 227 people took part of the fall cleanup last year. And this one that we just got done with, it was 352 people.
You've researched that pretty good then, haven't you?
Yeah, and I mean, there's tonnage, 82, just over 82 tons was hauled out there this year. We're for
Is that individuals or trips?
Well, it'd be,
Or-
it would be people that go across the scale.
Right.
So it could
Okay,
be
so
one
I went 3 times.
could be one
You'd
person
be
5
three.
times.
You'd be 3.
Yeah.